Good evening, everyone. This is Tara Sullivan, or Sully Stitches, on Flosstube and Instagram. This is a Flosstube about my love of cross stitch, kind of just statuses of what I've been doing, if I have any finishes, just kind of joining me about talking about my love of this hobby. Or obsession, some would say, but I'd say love for the hobby. It's been about 3 weeks since my last video. I'm not really going to record on a cadence. So we'll see kind of what my schedule is, but just kind of when I feel like I got some stuff together, ready to film, I'll jump on and do a recording. Again, I'm from Greenville, South Carolina, which is the upper part of the state. I've been stitching for 20 plus years. So, it's just a lot of fun to kind of get on here and discuss my stitching. Some things I've done in the past couple weeks. I work, I work like everybody else. It makes me be able to buy cross stitch, which is fun. I've done that. I did do the Friday night live with Liz, the Wandering Stitcher. So it's Friday with Friends. So I was her 5th guest. If you have not watched, you really need to, not me, but go back and watch the others. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of laughs. You get to know, just some stitchers better. It's funny when people are asking you questions of things that you haven't really shared. Even the Flosstubers we've known forever. It's really a lot of fun to kind of get on there and have some questions asked to them. And get to, kind of take them out of the Flosstube realm where they're just talking to the camera. So I was on there Friday night. It was a lot of fun, a lot of laughing, but probably not a lot of information, but we had a good time. So like I said, it's been about 3 weeks since my last video. My last video I did a with thy needle and thread kind of spotlight. A designer spotlight. I'm going to try to continue doing that as well. It was a lot of fun just to kind of go through the pieces that I've stitched from that designer. You remember all your stitching, but it's still fun to kind of go through when you stitched a good bit to be like, oh, I remember this piece, or I was stitching this piece at this time, or, kind of reminding you of those things. It's almost a walk down memory lane. And then trying to remember all the names, that's the hard part. With That Needle and Thread is one of my favorite designers, so I have stitched a lot of her pieces. Not all my designer spotlights will be that breadth or that depth. So I don't want to sell myself like that prolific, but I thought it was a lot of fun to kind of start with her pieces and go from there. I will be doing another designer spotlight tonight, so stay tuned for that. I have, of course, my whips and my finishes, and then some haul, and maybe a little bit of plans. So I am going to Needlework Market. This is my 4th year going, I believe, 4th or 5th. I am going with Hollis Hands Creates, who has a wonderful online store that I'm sure we all frequent. But I'm going with her. I'm going to be her shop helper. So hopefully I won't get in the way too much, gasping and awing at the beauty. But I do take a lot of pictures normally there, or I might film some videos and upload those to my Flosstube. I haven't really decided yet because I've always kind of gone where I wasn't really creating Flosstube at the time. So we'll see kind of how I decide to do that. Probably will do both, but it's a lot of fun to see the models, to see all the people that you've met over the years, all the designers, just seeing a piece in person. It's amazing. It's wonderful. So I'm very lucky to get to go to that again. So the only other thing that before I get into my stitching, is that I just wanted to say thank you. I started this kind of on a whim. I had a couple friends, they know who they are, who told me to get back on. I used to film Flosstube. They told me to get back on camera and just start recording. It's not very natural for me. I'm very outgoing, you know, in social situations, but turn on a camera and stare at yourself. It's difficult. Like, I think all the thoughts that I had in my head just kind of go whoosh. That's why I make notes. You'll see me looking down at notes a good bit because I don't want to forget anything. But man, I've had so many people support me, make comments, like, watch my video. The number of Flosstubers who I've watched forever who just have called me out, you know, recommended me. I'm blown away. So, you know, I can't express it enough, but I am very humbled by it and very, very appreciative of it. So I'm going to do just a couple, not a couple, they're not a couple, but some of the mentions that I've received. I hope I didn't miss anybody. It's hard sometimes to know on Flosstube because I'm like everyone else. I watch them, you know, when I can. I put them on when I'm stitching. And so sometimes it's a little bit hard to keep up. But, you know, here are some of the ones that I know have mentioned me in the past couple of weeks. So I just want to, again, say thank you. But the Sable Stitchers, Kindred Stitchers, Saltbox Stitcher, Carol, she was funny. She said she watched my video twice, which made my day because I've watched her video twice many a time. Sarah Stitchy Spot, She Cave Stitcher, Hollis Hands Creates, Darlene Dion Designs, Stitchin' Scotty, Deb from Country Stitchers, Karen Combs, Just Keep Stitching, which Just Keep Stitching, I couldn't believe it. They made my week because I was their silver Flosstuber, which again, it's very humbling to know that you're putting something out there that people aren't enjoying. There's a lot of Flosstubes. People are very busy, and for people to take the time and watch you, it's wonderful for me. So for a little girl from South Carolina, so thank you. So I thought what I was going to do is, because I might have to stand up a few times because I got some larger pieces, but, when I did my last Flosstube, I did a With Thy Needle and Thread, kind of spotlight. And unfortunately, I left a few pieces out that I had. I did try to take pictures of them where I could, but I did think they deserved to be shown because they are just, you know, really, really pretty. But so one of them is it was a special kind of design that Brenda had just on her website. And I don't know if it's released now or not, but there's a pumpkin. I knew that was gonna happen. But action shot. This is I Love Fall Most of All. You got like the pumpkins and we had to paint the little tray. But it's such a cute little design. So I stitched that one. And then I had a couple ornaments that I had put up. I can't remember the name of him, but he's just so adorable. Like how he's finished. Like I just did like a little bit of paper on the back and one of the little round frames. And then my good friend Jen, who is Purple Stitcher, and you will hear her mentioned a lot. We do an ornament exchange, and she did that. This was the one I received this year, and oh man, I love him, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad, and all you will understand. I'm so glad I don't have to stitch all those white stitches. And her stitching is gorgeous. Like you can tell. I mean, those white stitches are unbelievable. But you know, I just thought it was such a cute design, and I did not show it last time, and that was not my intention. And then I mentioned it and I took a picture of it, but I thought I would show it as well. But this is my Coming to America. So this was the big With Thy Needle and Thread piece, Coming to America. So I'm gonna kind of just go up slowly on it. But I have it hanging upstairs hall. I love the frame on it. I don't know if you guys can see that. You can see my mess through the reflection. But it just turned out so pretty, and I love that design. So I have stuff everywhere, like all around me. So I'm kind of like, don't move too much there because everything will kind of, so I have that. I do have 2 finishes this week, and one's a super large finish. I'm very happy about it. And I forgot my board, of course. But the first one is, I even said to myself, like, get your board, get the board, get the board, and I forgot it. So the first one is, let me show you the Sarah Barnes, which is by the Scarlett house. So this one I did on the called for, which is 36 count old stationary linen by Seraphim. And I did Vicki Clayton silks for the design. And I love how it turned out. Let me make sure I can get in there close enough. It helps when I whisper at the camera, right? But it's such a cute design. So that was one. That is Sarah Barnes by the Scarlett house. And then the next one I finished was, I've been working on it a while. This was a sale that I started with 2 of my local friends here, Pam, which is Farms Boy Love on Instagram, and Charlotte Burgess, which is Hooping It Up on Instagram. And we started this last year sometime. I don't know exactly when, but this is Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. This is in the Let Love Rain book. So, and I did, very, very excited to say that I finished this Saturday. So, again, long piece. I'm gonna actually stand up for it. I don't know how well that's gonna work, but, oh, helps if it's not upside down. So how did it look upside down? Was it beautiful? So this is, I did the Vicki Clayton silks again. I did 40 count Thornfield by Needle and Flax. So this one, I started this piece probably 4 times on different linens, and I really just was struggling so hard to find the linen. And I guess I can show you the rest while I'm talking. And I kind of talked to Rachel, who is the fabric dyer of Needle and Flax. And she was like, I saw this piece done on Thornfield and it was gorgeous, Tara. She's like, maybe try that. So when I was at Hobby House, first thing I did was ran in and got enough Thornfield and started it right away. So I guess I started in October. Wow. Or September. When did we go to Hobby House? Wow. I'm pretty impressed with myself. But you can see. So I just thought I'd show you again. Each of these bands would be gorgeous drums. And I did establish 2020 because that's when I bought my new house. And you'll see I don't have a little gentleman in there because I'm not married. So it's just me. And then that flower basket. Oh, Teresa. It is gorgeous, but that thing was a labor of love. That was probably one of the hardest things I've ever stitched. I kept having to take flowers out. I was making mistakes. And then just a little alphabet at the bottom. So that will be going to the framer right away. I'm very excited to say. I have a local framer here in South Carolina, and he's great. Hopefully I won't have to stand up much more anymore. But he's great, very reasonably priced. A lot of people asked about him on my last video. So if you are looking for a framer, he is the Framery in Liberty, South Carolina, but he doesn't take, I don't believe he takes like pieces mailed to him. He might, you might call him and ask him, but he does a great job, and a great kind of price point as well. So, I'm very lucky in that regard. So kind of went through my finishes. So I have one other finish, which I can't show right now. It's a finish for a friend that I'm going to be giving her for a gift. So I will take a picture of that and insert that in one of my videos kind of coming up. So kind of did that. I do my next kind of focus piece. I had started it, just got a tiny little bit on it, but I'm going back to Ann Chilton. I do have the Belle Soie called for that I will be using. So, and and I'm going to be, you know, trying to focus on this one. I don't have very much of it done at all, but I will show kind of what I have on it. I think it's going to be so pretty. So that's probably where I'm going to focus on the next couple weeks, and kind of knock that out. I think I've had, how many finishes for the year? Y'all care? Y'all probably don't care. But I think I've done, sorry guys. It's the whole point of having a book, right? Is to understand what you've done. Because it's not like any of us can remember. I know I can't. So I had 7 finishes in January, and I've had 3 in February. So 10, which is great. I think that's wonderful progress. So I'm happy with it. So I'm gonna throw this right here. I'm gonna put this here. So my designer spotlight this time is, I'll probably do my designer spotlight, and then I'll do like haul, and then kind of what I've been watching, kind of like I did last time. So my designer spotlight this time is Blackbird Designs, which I love. There's 1,000 more that I want to do. I'll never have enough of them. They're gorgeous designers, and I don't have a ton. Again, as I kind of mentioned, you know, especially when I started stitching again when I was around 25, like, in, you know, it was, you kind of stitch what you saw, you know, what your local shop had, what you saw. Now my shop did have some Blackbird, but there wasn't a lot of stitch in it. So like around in my group. So it was kind of like, what's that? You know, so I kind of got into it a little bit later. I do have some older pieces, luckily, that people have let me borrow and stitch. But their patterns, you know, classics. So I thought I'd kind of go through that designer spotlight with them. It's nothing compared to like a big sampler stitcher that's been stitching forever, but I got a pretty good dent. So the hard thing is that a lot of Blackbird you can't get, you know, if it's gone, or if it was a club. Now she is releasing a lot more now, thankfully. But you know, forever you couldn't get them. You had to get them on the secondary market, or you had to be lucky enough to have a friend that had them. And that, unfortunately for me, I did have some old books, like some really old books that I wish I still had, like With Thy Needle and Thread, that I've stitched pieces out of, and then I let someone borrow, and I don't have it anymore because I didn't get it back. So, which it's fine. But so anyway, so I thought I would start with Christmas Garden. And again, all my pieces are on glass. I do frame with glass. It is like conservation glass, but there's still some reflection. So I'll do my best to keep it out. But the first one is Christmas Garden. This is one of my favorite pieces. So Christmas Garden, I really debated about leaving the Christmas piece off, but I don't want to rework a border. I'm lazy. So I did leave it on there. But I love this piece because it goes back to my great-great-grandmother. So I have all their initials on here, and me and my mother had so much fun kind of going through family history, things she didn't even know, that we talked about, like my great-great-grandmother, or is it great-great? I don't know. Grandmother, I don't know, I have to count it up, but they all called her Allie Hedgepath Danzy. But her real name was Alabama. So it was Alabama 1 was her name, and they all called her Allie. So, you know, we had to go back to the census. We did the ancestry stuff. It was a lot of fun. And so me and my mom got to spend a lot of time kind of just going through stories, which is great to kind of have those, and to get like all of your kind of maternal side, you know, up on a sampler. So I really enjoyed that. That's a Christmas garden. Okay. The next one is from that book I was mentioning, the With Thy Needle and Thread book, and this is My Quaker House. So again, I'll try to back up and then bring it in a little bit. So this is My Quaker House by Blackbird Designs. Love that one. You're gonna hear that a lot. love that one, love that one. The next one is, oh yeah, one of my favorites. This is Away We Ride. So again, I love this like distressed black and brown frame on this. Love how that piece turned out. And again, I'm sorry for the glare, but Away We Ride. So I'll back it up to you a little bit. The next one is Midnight Watch. So all your sampler stitchers are going to kill me. But so I went through a phase where I didn't really want to do any alphabets and I didn't want to do any words. And it was just the phase. So I reworked this one, took the alphabet off, did it on green. I mean, I have no clue, guys. I have no clue what I was thinking, but it's actually beautiful. I love it this way. I love how it turned out. Love this brown and black again frame on this. I would probably stitch it again and do the full piece, because I love it so much. This has always been one of my favorite Blackbirds. So that's Midnight Watch. Okay, the next one is from the Sisters book. So this is At First Cock's Crow. Again, sorry for the reflection, but At First Cock's Crow. Okay. The next one is, this is an older pattern. This is like a Maggie Monogamy pattern, but it is Live Each Season. Love how that turned out. Live Each Season. And I'm sorry, I don't know the fabric or the threads that I used, because I mean, some of these you'll see, so someone went back to 2007. The next one is Cats on Parade. So this was you could do this as a drum or individual drums as well, but I stitched it all together. I know I used the call for linen back then, but Cats on Parade. I love those little cats. They're having a good time. Okay, the next one is, Spell of the Moon. So Spell of the Moon was actually a small piece, a little pillow. I love that. I probably, again, would stitch this one again and do it on really small, but I didn't mind like on 32 count or 28 count back in the day. And I love how large it is and how kind of it takes up the frame, and I love how it turned out. So this is Spell of the Moon. I'm not sure if I mentioned that or not. So another fun one, fun frame. Which I don't know if I really discussed it. I did on the Friday Night Live. I love Halloween. I love seasonal stitching, especially fall. It's one of my favorites. So you will see there's a good number of kind of Halloween or fall pieces. The next one is Halloween Greetings. So Halloween Greetings. I always love this. I think that was like a variegated thread around it in the frame. It's definitely a larger count, but it turned out so cute. I got that one framed in 2015. Not that long ago. The next one is, this is in the Fine Collection book, and this was October's Harvest. I've always loved that pumpkin. So this is October's Harvest as well. I keep wanting to say Blackbird, but I think you guys know it's Blackbird, right? So let's see, what is next? Okay, so the next one is, this is also from the Sisters book, and this is Witch No More. This is probably another one of my, one of my favorites, if not my favorite. So Witch No More, love the colors, love the Quakers, just a fabulous design. Okay, the next one is Moonlit Garden. So, and it says, To everything, there's a season, a time, and every purpose under heaven. Again, just love the design, love the colors. For a fall girl, that's right up her alley. My next one is Be Kind and True, which is important for everybody. I think a lot of people are kind, but they're not always true. So be kind and true. Again, another just great design. This is an older one. I don't think you can get this one anymore. But I stitched this in 2006. So, wow. Brave and Bewitched. So I have to reach a little bit for these. Okay, so again, another kind of Halloween themed, fall themed, all these Quakers, man. Oh man. But this is Raven Bewitched. Just love that design. The next one is Bells on Christmas Day. Now this was in 2022, so I'm a little bit more up to date on this one, but I think Jen and I, again, Purple Stitcher, and I went to the open house, the Christmas open house that Country Sampler has, and I saw this on the wall, and I was like, I've got to stitch that. And I'm almost 100% sure I used Vicky Clayton Silks on this one, but I love how this piece turned out. Bells on Christmas Day. Okay, this one is Bringing Good Cheer. Again, another 2022 piece. This border, this flower border, just is gorgeous. I would probably leave this up all the time. I don't care. It says Merry Christmas. But that is Bringing Good Cheer. The next one is another really pretty Christmas one, Christmas Rose. So this is Christmas Rose. I love that this was in 2021, but I love like the square stitch in the name. If I can get in close enough to that. I love how that turned out. Just a lovely piece. The next one. Okay, so this is an older one, but this was in the Tokens of Friendship book and Summer Souvenir. Now it looks a little different because Summer Souvenir is on this pattern and some more stars, I believe, but I kind of left it off and just brought the frame again. I didn't want to stitch words. But this was I did it over one. I did it with one thread back a long time ago. And it's kind of muted, but I just think it's so pretty how it turned out. So, and I don't think you can get a Token of Friendship book anymore. I don't know for sure. And then this one was from a Heart Remembers book. So, a Heart Remembers. So this one, actually, I did my parents' initials in it. I did my mom and my dad and the day they were married, which was 1964, or the year 1964, to kind of, commemorate them and their marriage as well. So A Heart Remembers. The next one is, so this one is All Joys for Thine. I stitched this one actually in 2023. Wow. So All Joys for Thine. Love just a simple kind of cherry frame on it. Looks so good. I probably used the call for it, but maybe Vicky Clayton Silks on this one as well. And I know I did on the A Heart Remembers, because that was last year too. And then I have my last frame piece, which is, well, I have one more, but this is also from the Heart Remembers book. This is the Wildflower Guide as well. So again, the Heart Remembers book, Wildflower Guide. I use Vicky Clayton Silks on this too. But I love that berry basket. Love the pattern, but love the whole thing. So those are kind of my framed Blackbird pieces. And then I do have a couple smalls. Nothing like I did for With Thy Needle and Thread. There's a lot more that I want to do, of course, but one more frame piece that I had, which this is an older piece, but this was Stars and Stripes. Someone let me borrow this pattern, and I think I stitched it in 21. Yep. But I love this design. Can I say that? I know I'm a broken record, guys, but this is Stars and Stripes. Again, you can find it on the secondary market. It's hard to find. So the next one is a little small that I had done. This is Frosty's Night Out. So I'll show you the little snowflakes. I did have a lot of questions about my finishers, like who my finishers are. And so I do have a couple of friends that finish for me. Just very nice. They finish for me. They're not professional finishers. They don't want to be right now. So I have them. And then I have had things finished from Keepsakes in Cincinnati, Ohio. They have 2 professional finishers. Both are great. And you can call the store and get information from them. And then also I have used Faye Rigsby as well. And she is on Instagram. So, but this is Frosty's Night Out. Put it right there. And then this is Sweet Summer Come Again. Love this little piece. Now, this and one other piece I'm about to show you is the only 2 pieces that I did not stitch. I received this from a friend. Cute little drum. I love the bottom being like different. So cute. So Sweet Summer Come Again. And then this Blackbird. I got this at a retreat exchange. And the name of this one is Blackbird. It's like a tweed on the back. So pretty. I would have stitched this had I not wanted it. And then I have Early Christmas Morning. I think a lot of you people, y'all have stitched this. It's such a cute pattern. So you stitch the top, you stitch the band. It says Merry Christmas. And then this is the bottom that I chose. So again, Early Christmas Morning. And then the last one, probably my favorite, if I have to pick one. It's hard, you can't, it's like picking your favorite child, but so this one is, just love the finish of this. So this is a frame that I bought offline, took it to my framer, he did it all for me. But this is a Midnight Ride. And he's still one of my favorite Blackbird designs ever. Always has been, always will be. But this is Midnight Ride. And this was a frame that I got off of Etsy. This was a company called Sign and Numbered, SIGNED and Numbered, out of Salt Lake City. I'm not sure, if they're still in, business or anything, but their frames are gorgeous. And they do have the little, plexiglass kind of glass in them. But I love how that one turned out. Okay. And then I do have a few pieces that are not fully finished from With Thy Needle and Thread, because I think we've already discussed it. I have a drawer of shame. It's not even shame. It's just drawer. I'm gonna call it drawer of loveliness, because it's nothing but a bunch of beautiful things in there. So I'm gonna change the name, but I have a few things that need to be fully finished. I like to stitch. I just kind of stitch them and throw them in there and then go, ooh, which one I'm going to fully finish. So the first one is Waiting for Harvest. I've seen this done in so many different color ways. People have done it in orange. I know Carol did hers, I think, in oranges and an orange variegated. I love them all. I think I could stitch this time and time again, but this was kind of my version of it, which is Waiting for Harvest. I stitched, this is going to be finished into a drum. This was a country sampler kit, but this is October 31st. And then this is the backing fabric, or the fabric they gave for the drum. I'm not sure if I'll change that out. I don't think so. I probably will use it because I think it's really cute. But October 31st. Again, that was a country sampler kit. This is a companion piece to Midnight Ride, which is a little pillow. Little witch set. How cute is that? Why I have not got that finished, I don't know, but anyway. Little witch's hat. These came from the book. I'm looking. I think it's With Thy Needle and Thread book. I don't know the name of the pattern, but this is one of them. Just a really pretty green variegated that I did back in the day. I think the letters are over 1. My name's over 1 for sure. The TS. My initials, not my name. And then this one, again, from the With Thy Needle and Thread book. I remember this piece, and I don't know that this piece will ever get framed or fully finished. I haven't decided, but it's funny because I can remember this piece from 2007. My father passed away in 2008, and I can remember stitching this in the hospital. And that's kind of the funny part about the memory lane that I have, kind of pulling these things out. Some good, some bad, but I can remember definitely stitching this in the hospital when my father was sick. So this again from the With Thy Needle and Thread book. I don't think that book's, I wish I had my copy of it. That's one of the ones I let someone borrow to my detriment, but I wish they would re-release it. I would rebuy that one. This one is Liberty House. I've always loved this design. Someone kindly let me borrow it, I think last year or the year before, and stitch it. Of course, if someone, lets me borrow a piece, it goes back to them, or if they tell me to pay it forward, I give it to another friend who wants to stitch it. I don't keep those in my stash because that's just, spread the love. So this is Liberty House. It's got to get framed. I have America, which a lot of people, this is kind of their, I think they're kind of, if they could stitch anything, what would it be? Their unicorn chart is what we call it. America. Again, someone kindly let me borrow this and let me stitch it. So I try to, anything like that, I try to stitch it up as fast as I can and, get it to the next person or get it back to them because, you don't want to keep their pattern. This one, so I kind of taught this on the Friday night with Liz, but I'm sure Liz is tired of hearing her name by now, but some people can change colors and they do a beautiful job. It's not my strong suit. I've learned that kind of over the years that I change fabric. I'll change fabric all day. I'll use what I have in my stash. I can see fabric. It helps. You can throw thread on there, but I don't really change a lot of threads, me personally. So in the Sweet Land of Liberty book, which is one of my favorite Blackbird books, and I think it's still available. You can still get it. It's every pattern in there I want to stitch, but I think because I did this to this one, I've never stitched anything in it again, which I know sounds bad, but I'm going to get it back out. But this is In Full Glory, and I changed the colors to be more patriotic. Oh, they are patriotic, but it is bright. Like, ooh, nothing says 4th of July. The flag's pretty and the house is pretty, but that blue that I used is kind of questionable, I would say. But hey, it's mine. I'll still get it finished and get it taken care of, and then probably stitch it again, as called for. This one is from the Souvenirs of Summer book, Summer Jubilee. It is a gorgeous, I've always wanted to stitch it. I'm sorry I don't have the board to kind of show you. Mine is a little ghosty, like I mean, you see it, but I kind of lost some. I think I used the original called for color, but some of mine just kind of, I mean, it's not bad from here, but it did kind of ghost a little bit. Maybe I should stitch it again. I don't know, but tell me what you think. But some of mine, see, it just kind of disappears. But maybe once they get it framed and get it back, it'll be okay. I've hesitated that one on that one a little bit because it's one of my favorite designs, and I just don't love my version of it or my stitching of it. The next one is a very popular one. A lot of people have stitched. This is 'Tis the Season. You could do it like this was 'Tis the Season, or there was a French one as well. The French saying, but it says 'Tis the season to be jolly. And then I do have, love it. And good night to all, and to all a good night. Sorry, I did not mean to snort. And to all a good night. I love it. I just don't know the name of it. This again was something out of print chart. Someone let me borrow and stitch, and then, you know, give it back or pass it on. So the people who do that, thank you. I mean, really, thank you, because it's hard because there's some things you want to stitch, but you know, it's hard to find them. Really hard to find them. And then I do have one. I don't carry a lot of whips. I love whip parades. I love other people who have like 70 whips. I mean, I have 70 things kitted up, don't get me wrong, but I just haven't started them. And like, so I love to see like because I'm not that kind of stitcher, so I love to see like a whip parade. I mean, maybe I will with Flosstube. Maybe I'll start starting everything, but I love to see all the whips, like how Laura's like going through and categorizing things, and Brenda's like, you know, come on, Laura. You know, I love that, you know, and Carol did her 75 or less than 75. She won't say how many, but less than 75 whips. I love those end of the year whip parades, but I don't carry a lot of whips. So, I have one though, that is, it's a whip. I started it last year, not fully finished. So this is, Blackbird Designs Little Birds. And I know this is on the called for fabric. I think it was Heartland, if I'm not mistaken, but this is Vicky Clayton Silks. So I am down to one. I kind of worked my way down to a house because I really wanted to do a house, which was it's not an easy house. This house is not symmetrical. Like the windows are, but the bricks are all over the place. So I was like, who did your brickwork? But it's such a beautiful design. So this again is Little Birds by Blackbird Designs. Sorry, it's large. I can get it in there a little bit better. So I want to finish that this year. Challenge accepted. So I just finished that big Teresa Kogut, so I'm not sure if I'm going to work on Little Birds next again with ants. I usually do like a large and a small sometimes, or what I consider large and small. But I haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet, or, you know, if I want to take a little bit of a break on a large right now. So I thought I would kind of just really all I had left was kind of going through some of my haul. So you don't want to go through my stash, but some of my haul this time. So I do have a little bit of haul. I know this is kind of ridiculous, but let me get this right here. Sorry, let me do a little bit of shuffling. Okay, so the box is not right in y'all's face. So after I did my with I Needle and Thread whip parade, of course I was like watching other Flosstubes, and you know, I think it was so tattered, she showed Frances Poole. And I have never, I don't know why I've never really paid attention to it or seen it, but her version was so pretty that I had to go. I went in and did a Country Stitches online. That's what Country Stitches online order? That's Brenda's website. So I was waiting for it to open. So like, I think like on February 2nd when it opened, I was like, submit, you know, add to cart. So I ordered Frances Poole. And then you can't just get one pattern. I mean, you gotta, you know, I mean, you gotta pay for shipping. So you might as well get a few, right? So that was the excuse that I used. And I ordered a few. So I didn't have the sewing bird, but I love that design. I did Sampler Hill, which I want to start right now. Like I want to start right this minute. Why I don't have this design or didn't have this design, I don't know. Stupid of me, but love this one. And then I'd also seen the, I'm trying to pull out all the ones that are Blackbird. I did Autumn in Baltimore. I didn't have this one for some reason. I don't know if it's because of the over one that I was like, I'm not buying it. But I've done over one, I can do it. So I bought this one. And as I already mentioned, autumn's my favorite season, so why I don't have it, I don't know. And then I think it was Thread Milk, Lori, I believe, mentioned the samplers of the season, and I had never really saw those either, so I was like, oh, let me go check them out. And of course, now I have samplers of the season as well, because I have nothing but unlimited time. So that was the autumn one. This is the summer. And then I did winter, because, you know, you need all the seasons. You can't just have one of them. You need them all. And then spring. Which spring is not my favorite season to stitch, but I love this one. I think he's adorable. So I love the little quilts hanging out on the line. And then I've seen this one done. I've thought about doing it 1,000 times. But paper snowflakes. I went ahead and just, why I didn't have the chart, I don't know. Probably one of those ones that every time I saw it somewhere, I didn't buy it because I thought I already had it in my stash and I didn't. And then I got the Bluebird Out My Window as well. Just a cute little small. So that was kind of all my With Thy Needle and Thread haul. I did get some of her linen rickrack. Some of my favorite stuff to finish with. I just love the look of it. As you can see by a lot of the smalls I kind of did. I'm going to try to hit the camera. There. Okay. And then I did order, I placed an order from Hollis Hands Creates. Oh, well, I'll show these in a minute. Or Brenda, from somebody else though. I did place an order with Hollis Hands Creates. Get those out. So, I ordered Be a Friend. I know I saw this on someone, but I'm sorry, I cannot remember who. And I love it. So Be a Friend. Missy Timberlake, I believe, finished this. And I kept looking at it and kept looking at it. And I was like, oh, I'll just go ahead. So this is the Christmas Bell sampler. I already told you guys I'm going to live to be 300, so I'm good. The Anjou pears. And then I love this one. I love this one. I just love the A sample at the top. I don't know why. But this is Lucinda Fraser, 1866. Again, just kind of like an all one color sampler. Or, well, oh no, there's multiple colors in there. Sorry. There's 4 actually. Looks like one, doesn't it? But Lucinda Fraser. And then, in case Hollis Hands Creates, she has a great online shop. If you don't know about it, go check it out. I'm sure you do. She sends you these great, like, My Project cards. which is super cool. And then I ordered all of the new Brenda Gervais Easter ones. Because, you know, get all the Brendas. I did Grandma's Candy Dish. I think you've been seeing these a lot. I did Happy Easter. And I did Hello Spring. I love these patterns right here. I showed them. I did Hello Fall or Joy and Good Cheer and whatever they were. Right? I don't remember my name, your name, patterns names, but anyway, I love Hello Spring. So all that to say, I love these patterns. And then I did order, I think this was from Hollis too. I can't remember who I got these from. I did the Quakers that are everyone's showing right now because they're just so cute. The Autumn Quaker. I love a Quaker. Anyway, Winter Quaker. And Primrose Cottage. And these might have been, I don't know. So Christmas Quaker. All from Primrose Cottage. And then I did, it's from Annabella's. So I did get these from Annabella's, another online shop. And she had the Coloring Cotton Blue that the Winter Quaker was in. So I went ahead and picked that one up. So it had the called for. Sometimes I just use some stash, but I didn't know what it looked like because I didn't have a lot of Coloring Cotton thread. So I ordered that. So that's kind of all my stash. I did actually order this too. So as I've mentioned before, I do love the Vicki Clayton silks. And sometimes when you're working on a project, it's kind of nice. I use bags, but it's kind of nice to have the spools. And so I ordered these from Amazon. My friend Lisa, you know, tried these out and recommended them. But they're little Amazon holders. They hold the bobbins for the Vicki Clayton silks really good. And so you can put all of them in there for a project if you want and then label it. And then it's got a little hook too, so you can kind of hang it as well if you like. But they're great little kind of organized boxes, which I love. So kind of thought I would just show or talk about maybe something that I'm going to start. It's kind of on my radar right now. I want to start it all, but on my radar right now especially. I went ahead and got all the thread, but I think I'm thinking about Sarah Platt 1811. Sarah Platt 1811 from Pineberry Lane. I love this sample and I love all the colors. It's just very unusual palette and I love that. So Sarah Platt. And then I also have pulled out, sorry my thread's kind of a mess, but Scarlett Berries as well. From a Scarlett house. Scarlett Berries. And then here's some of the threads. So, kind of. As I kind of mentioned, I put all my threads in bags. So it's kind of hard to show them on Flosstube. But I do little 3x4 bags. I label them just with a label. And then just kind of go from there. And they're all kind of in long, they're refrigerator crates actually, but they're in long, like M Designs is a company like Amazon sells for organization. And they're just clear, long tubes that I just kind of measured so the 3x4 bag would fit perfectly in it and they'd stand up. And I just put them in alphabetical order by you know, dyer. So, and then I, of course, have my DMC. I have one of the DMC boxes, so I have my DMC in there. That was my Christmas present to myself this year. So let's see. So I guess the only really thing I kind of have to talk about now is kind of things I've been listening to, things I've been watching. As I've mentioned, I like to listen to stuff as I'm stitching. I've always been like that. I've always kind of multitasked when I stitched, when I used to study in high school and college. Yeah, it's just kind of how my brain works. But some of the stuff that I've been watching is on Hulu, Death and Other Details. I've really enjoyed that. It's kind of like an old Agatha Christie kind of modern take on it. But it's the show Death and Other Details. I've been watching on Showtime, Woman in the Wall, which is really interesting. It's set, I think, in Ireland, and it's about, I'm not gonna go into a ton of detail, but there's a woman who, when she was 17, 18, got pregnant, and her family kind of sent her to a convent where they took the baby, and trying to figure out kind of what happened there. I watched Abbott Elementary. If you just need a good, fun-loving, funny show, I love that show. It's a new season's out. And then I watched The Truth About Jim on Max. So it's a show kind of with a family who had a kind of an abusive grandfather, and kind of wondering, you know, did he do things that he was not caught for in the 70s? Was he any serial killer or things of that nature? So more true crime related. I've been watching Death by Fame, which has a new season as well, again on Max. That's really easy to watch, fun to watch. I watched One Day on Netflix. So sad. So sweet, but so sad. So One Day on Netflix. And then I did the Love Stalker Killer. It was on Netflix as well. And then there's a new kind of 2020 expansion called Bad Romance that's out now, and that was like episode 4 of that. They even went into some more detail about it. And then I've been kind of listening to, I had a viewer, someone who watches, recommend Girlfriends to me. Loved that podcast. It was so good. I binged right through it. Highly recommend it. Girlfriends. And then another friend, recommended Your Own Backyard. I had saw the documentary on that, but I had not listened to the podcast, so I went through that as well. That was great. And then Dr. Death season 3, Bad Magic, is out. If you've not listened to Dr. Death, it's a really good podcast. Crazy podcast, but very good. And then I listened to Stolen Hearts. It was on Wondery, but it was about a cop in Britain, in England, a cop in England, and you know, she meets this guy, and then kind of what transpired from that relationship, which was really interesting. And then Fairy Meadow were kind of the things that I have been listening to. So I think that's everything. I did get a little bit of fabric if you want to see it. Not cross stitch fabric. I know you want to see that, but I did get a little bit. I buy fabric for, I buy too much fabric, but I buy it for sometimes for backing, and then I have friends who'll make me stuff like bags or project mats, things to that nature. But I love this French General line, so I did get kind of the whole sampling of this, which is just beautiful. Like, you know, I'm not gonna go through all of them, but they're just some really gorgeous kind of patterns in there. So I did that, and then I think that's about it. Got enough damage. If you made it this far, I'm happy. And that's really all I had this week. So again, I'm going to market. I'm very excited to be going to market. I'll be taking pictures from there. I might do some splashing a video together there to upload to the channel. Not 100% sure yet. It's very busy. You're there as a helper, and you're moving. It's great. You get to see a lot of people, but it's a busy couple of days because there's a lot of rooms to get to and a lot of people to get through, and a lot of things to see. So I'll try to post anything that I can, because I think people kind of enjoy seeing that from market. And again, I'm very excited to be going. That's all I got. Again, thank you for joining me. You know, if you want to subscribe. It's numbers, you know. I appreciate it. I'm very appreciative of it, but you know, it's just a good way for you to be alerted, since I am not going to be recording like a schedule that I can think of right now. So anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed it. And, you know, I hope you'll come back and join me again for my next floss tube whenever I record it. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a great evening.